Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat sejahtera. Today what we have to learn is about accounting equation. Okay, so for accounting equation, I will use this e-learning material for this topic, accounting equation. Okay, what is actually accounting equation? Okay, this is the introduction, a bit introduction for accounting equation. Okay, the accounting equation originates from the accounting entity concept, which regards business as separate and distinct from the owner and others parties. Okay, so I repeat, the accounting equation originates from the accounting entity concept. Okay, accounting entity concept that we learned before. Okay, which regards business as separate and distinct from the owner and others party. Okay, uh, okay, we start the course. Okay, so the value of a business can be determined by working out how much it owns and how much it owes others. Okay, this basic idea can be explained by the accounting equation. Okay, therefore, in this topic, we will first examine the accounting equation. Then we will learn the elements of accounting equation, which are assets, liabilities, and equity. Lastly, we will identify the relationship between the accounting equation and the balance sheet or statement of financial position. Okay, this is the diagram of the accounting equation. The scale, okay, asset must be always equal to total of liabilities plus equity. Okay. Okay, this is actually what we have to learn for this topic. Okay, at the end of this lesson, okay, all of you should be able to, the first one, identify the state of accounting equation. The second one, explain the elements in the accounting equation, which include assets, liabilities, and owner equities. And the third one, explain the relationship between the accounting equation and the layout in the balance sheet or statement of financial position. Okay, that's the three learning objective that we have to cover for this topic. Okay, let's start with the what is accounting equation in details. Okay, to start up a business and start trading, it will need resources. Okay, it will need the resources to start up the business. Therefore, the owner of the business has to supply the resources. Okay, I repeat, the owner of the business has to supply the resources. Okay, how to supply these resources? Okay, resources applied by the owner. This is we call resources in the business. Okay, for example, okay, resources that supplied by the owner is cash itself, or cash, or another assets. Okay, okay. Now, what amount supplied by the owner? Whatever amounts supplied by the owner, this is we call owner equity. Okay, apa sahaja yang disumbangkan oleh pemilik ke dalam perniagaan itu kita panggil owner equity. Okay, actual resources in the business got from owner, this is actually assets. Okay, so whatever resources in the business got from the owner, okay, bring in the business from the owner, okay, this is we call asset. Okay, for this time, owner equity is actually equal to total asset. Okay, uh, for that time, okay, for this time, owner equity value is actually equal to total asset. Okay, whatever owner bring in into the business, okay, for example, cash, motor vehicles, okay, for example, motor vehicle is car, okay, a lorry, van, or any furniture, okay, features and fittings, okay, total of that asset, what is actually owner bring in into the business, that's also we call owner equity. Okay. Uh, Okay, however, people other than owner also supply of the asset in the business by giving debt into to this asset. Okay. However, people other than the owner, okay, people others than the owner, selain daripada pemilik, also supply some of the assets in the business by giving debts to these assets. So this is called liabilities. Okay, this is called liabilities. Okay, what's the word? The keywords related to liabilities is actually debts. Okay, hutang. Okay, hutang is equal or this is also called liability. Okay, a business need resources to enable to it to operate. Resources owned by the business are known as asset. Okay, a business need resources. Okay, when we want to start a business need the resources. Okay, to enable it to operate. For example, what type of resources? Cash. Okay, um, buildings, okay, or premises, fixtures and fittings, okay, motor vehicles. That's all the resources that enable a business to operate. Okay, resources owned by the business are known as asset. Okay, all the resources is known as a are known as a assets. Okay, all assets the business own have to be supplied by the owner and the external party. So all asset of the business own, okay, whatever asset that business miliki, okay, have to be supplied, mesti uh, bekalkan ataupun diberikan by the owner itself and also by the external parties. Okay, what example of external parties may be financial intermediaries or financial institution like banks, commercial bank, okay, or uh, others institution, for example, Mara, Tekun, okay, that will provided a loan, or business financing for that business. Okay, that's mean by external party. Okay, so therefore, the relationship between the asset, equity, can be expressed in the following equation. Okay, before that we only have owner equity equal to asset. Okay, because for that time on that time we don't have external party, but now uh, our asset, business asset also supplied by others party, by external party. That's why our accounting equation changed to assets equal to liabilities plus owner equity. Okay, so asset is whatever business have, whatever business owns, okay, equal to liability, okay, from the external parties, okay, resources from the external party, and owner equity, resources from owner itself. Okay, okay, right. So this is the picture of the owner of the accounting equation. Also a scale, okay, assets equal to total liability L and plus equity E. Okay, so that the above equation is known as the basic accounting equation. It's the basic accounting equation. This is the basic accounting equation. We also have extended accounting equation that we will learn after this. Okay, it's formed the basis of the world double entry bookkeeping system. This is the basis of the world double entry bookkeeping system. Okay, very related to the double entry bookkeeping system. Okay, the total of both sides mean the left and right side, will always equal each other, and it will always to be true, and no matter how much transaction there may be. Okay, berapa banyak pun transaksi yang ada, the equation mesti kena sentiasa sama, equal. Asset must be always equal to liability plus equity. Alright. For example, if the total asset equals to 10,000, the sources of financing to purchase these assets may come from the borrowings, okay, liabilities of 4,000, and the balance from the owner's equity, okay, 6,000. So how we derive the accounting equation like this. So asset 10,000, liability from the borrowing 4,000 plus equity from the owner itself 6,000. Okay, so this is our accounting equation. Assets 10,000 equal to liabilities 4,000 plus equity 6,000. 6,000. Mathematically, this equation can also be shown as equity equal to asset minus liability. Okay, the or liability equal to asset minus equity. Okay, okay. Hopefully you can understand how we derive, how we created accounting equation. Okay, now before we proceed to the next lesson, let's answer the following question. Okay, according to the accounting equation, when owner's equity is when owner equity is constant, with no changes, any increases in liability will cause, bila owner equity tetap constant, when any increases in liability meningkat, dia akan menyebabkan what happens to the asset? Increase also, or decrease, or no changes. Okay, remember that we accounting equation, asset must be equal to liability plus equity. Okay, so let's look for this example. We assume that owner equity is constant, 6,000 is constant. Okay, 6,000 is constant. Okay, any liability, increase in liability. For example, liability will be increased by 2,000. So liability will increase 4,000. Plus 2,000, so increase to 6,000. So 6,000 liability, equity constant 6,000. How about asset? Of course, also will be increases by 2,000. So the answer is an increase. Okay, let's submit. Okay, good, correct. Okay, asset equal to liabilities plus owner equity. Increases in liability will cause increases in asset when owner equity is constant. Okay. Okay, let's move to the next lesson, next part. Okay, what is asset? Okay, what is asset? Okay, what is asset? What's some example of item that you own? Okay, this is asset. You may own clothes, a car, motorbike, laptop, mobile phone, some books, and some money in the bank. These items are known as assets. Okay, so assets are defined a probable future economic benefits obtained or controlled by particular entity as a result of a past transaction of event. Or at simplest word, what is asset is actually something valuable which business owner has the use of. Okay, sesuatu yang bernilai yang business miliki, yang ada kegunaan lah. Okay, that's asset. Like individual, business also own assets. Okay, seperti individu, business also own asset. Okay, what's assets that business own? Okay, piece of land. Okay, a building, motor vehicles, furniture, office equipment, inventory or stock of goods, and cash in the bank. So this is examples of uh, assets of the business. These assets are bought and held by a business to help it generate income and make profit. Okay, all these assets, okay, are bought and held by business to help it generate income and making profit. So that's this is example of asset. And now we go to the classification, or uh, assets can be classified as non-current asset and current asset. Category of asset, okay, under asset we have two category. Okay, we have non-current asset and current asset. Okay, what is actually non-current asset? Okay, non-current asset are asset that remain with the business for relatively long period. Okay, long period. Thus none the current asset is used. Okay, dia akan digunakan ataupun dia remain in the business, maksudnya digunakan, masih lagi boleh digunakan. Okay, lebih daripada satu accounting period. Means that long, relatively long period. Dia bukanlah digunakan untuk 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, relatively long period. Normally more than one accounting period. Accounting period, normally accounting period is 1 year. Okay, so the lifespan of such asset usually extend over a number of years, and the operations of many accounting periods derive benefit from them. Okay, example, what is the example of non-current asset? Motor vehicles, land, premise, office equipment. Okay, non-current asset can be further subdivided into tangible and intangible of non-current asset. Tangible means we can touch the asset, we can touch. Okay, for example, handphone, we can touch this handphone. Okay, what example of intangible asset? Okay, for example, tangible asset have a physical existence. Okay, we can see the existence of that asset. Okay, that means the physical existence, such as machinery and building. We can see the machine, we can see the building. But how about the intangible asset? Okay, the intangible asset have no physical existence, but they represent the value of right, such as a goodwill, patents, copyright, and trademark. Okay, we cannot see the copyright, we cannot see the patents, the trademark. Okay, but this is also categorized under non-current asset. Okay. Okay, this is the picture of non-current asset. Okay, how about the current asset? Okay, current asset are the cash and other resources are reasonably expected to be realized in cash or sold or consumed in the business within 1 year. Okay, current asset are the cash and other resources that are reasonably expected to be realized in cash or sold or consumed in the business within 1 year. Okay, within 1 year, the value will change. Okay, uh, for short period. Okay, for example, we have an inventory. Inventory, what is inventory? Whatever we want to, okay, for trading business, they have inventory before sold. That's inventory. The inventory is actually the product. Okay, the goods. Okay, barang niaga. Inventory, what we call inventory in Malay is actually inventory also, or stock. Okay, apa sahaja barang niaga yang business ada untuk dijual kepada customer. Okay, bila barang niaga tu masih lagi ada di dalam premise, okay, still have in premise, not sold yet, belum lagi dijual. Okay, that's we call inventory. Okay, when we go to the pasar raya Borong Sakan, for example, or kedai Eco, whatever the goods inside in the premises of Eco or premises of pasar raya Borong Sakan, all that's the goods. Okay, that's we call inventory. Okay, account receivable. Okay, what is account receivable? Money owned by customer. Okay, money owed by customer. What is customer? For example, madam, I have a business. I sold my businesses is my goods or my product is handphone. Okay, okay. I sell a handphone to the customer. Okay, to Ali, for example, madam sell a handphone to Ali. So Ali is madam's customer. Maksudnya Ali adalah customer madam lah. Okay, so what is account receivable? Okay, what is account receivable? For example, when madam, okay, sell this handphone to Ali, but Ali didn't pay yet. Okay, Ali belum lagi bayar. Okay, so that's account receivable. Ali is considered is our account, medium account receivable. Okay, cash at bank. What is a cash at bank? Cash in the bank. What's amount of cash in our bank? Okay, cash in hand. Whatever in my hand or in my purse. Okay, this is cash in hand. Or in the business we have cash register. All of the cash in cash register. That is cash in hand. Okay, payment in advance, whatever payments that we made in advance, okay, and also revenue earned but not yet received, accrued revenue. Okay, we supposedly received that revenue, but we didn't receive yet. Okay, for example, accrued rent revenue. Okay, we have premises, we rent to others, but we didn't receive yet the rental revenue for this month, for example. So this is we call accrued revenue. Also falls under current asset. Okay. Okay, the flashcard below show the pictures of non-current asset and current asset. Okay, so non-current assets, this is the pictures of non-current asset. We have buildings, computer, lorry, okay. We have truck, we have factory buildings, okay. Current asset, we have cash in hand. Okay, another current asset example is inventory, okay. This is actually stock inside the warehouse, okay. Okay, before we proceed to the next lesson, let's answer the following question. Okay, building is the example of non-current asset. Is correct or incorrect? Building, where is building? Here building. Okay, here building, non-current asset. Right, correct. Submit. Okay, good. Okay, building is an example of non-current asset because building will remain within the business for relatively long period. Okay, building relatively will remain in the business for long period. Okay. Example of current asset are, what is the example of current asset? Okay, example of current asset. Let's look before the slide before. Okay, this is example of current asset. Okay, this is example of current asset. Okay, let's look the option of the answer. Cash in hand, cash at bank, account receivable, and inventory. Okay. The second option, cash in hand, cash at bank, motor vehicle and inventory. What happens with the second option? We have motor vehicle. That's the wrong item. Motor vehicle for non-current asset. So the best answer, the first one, cash in hand, cash at bank, account receivable and inventory. Submit. Okay, good. Correct. Alright. Okay. Next, we move to the next subtopic, which is liabilities. Okay, what is liability? As long as owning assets, both individuals and business may owe to others. For example, you may owe your friends a sum of money. You may not have fully paid the car that you bought last year. The amounts owed are called liabilities. Amount yang kita hutang tu kita panggil liabilities. So that's Liability are defined as probable future sacrifice of economic benefit arising from present obligation of a particular entity to transfer assets or provide services to other entities as a result of a past transaction or events. Okay, but the simplest word to define liability is liabilities are obligation or debts owed by business to other businesses or individuals apart of the owner. Okay, obligation or debts owed by a business or other businesses or individual apart from the owner. Okay, business also may owe money to several parties. For example, business may owe the supplier. Okay, for example, business may owe the supplier because it bought goods on credit. Okay, the business may borrow money from a bank to pay for its expenses. Okay, example of liabilities are bank loan, bank overdraft. What is bank overdraft? Okay, an amount owed to supplier. Okay, account payables. What is account payable? Okay, madam, okay, my business, I sell handphone. Okay, before I can sell my handphone to customer, I will purchase the handphone from the supplier. Okay, when I purchase on credit terms, what is credit means giving debts to me, supplier giving debts to me lah, credit terms. Okay, medium beli secara hutang daripada supplier. So my supplier, for example, Oppo Enterprise. Okay, Oppo Sdn Bhd, for example. Oppo Sdn Bhd is my supplier. Okay, since my supplier giving me a credit term, so my Oppo Enterprise is my accounts payable. Okay, Oppo Enterprise is medium punya accounts payable. Okay, credit supplier lah. Okay, so that's now liability also classified into two category. Okay, the first one, non-current liabilities, and the second one is current liability. Okay, let's look what is the non-current liability. Is that same with the non-current asset? Okay, non-current liability are obligation or debts that are expected to be paid more than 1 year or more than one accounting period. Okay, obligation that we have to pay back. Okay, the debts within not within more than one accounting period or more than 1 year. For example, a long-term loan. Okay, long-term loan lah. Long-term loan that we have to pay to the financial institution more than 1 year. For example, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Okay, mortgage loan also and debentures. Okay. So how about the current liabilities? Okay, current liabilities consist of obligation or debts of the businesses that must be paid within a fairly short period of time, which is usually within 1 year. Okay, current liability we need to pay the obligation within 1 year. Okay, maybe in 1 month, 2 months. Okay, for example, loan repayable within 1 year, short-term loan. Okay, bank overdraft. Okay, overdraft is actually balance of a bank account in which fund with withdrawn had exceed fund deposited. For example, madam, I have a balance in my bank, my current account 10,000, but I withdraw 15,000 because I have bank overdraft facilities approved by banks. Okay, so I have 5,000 bank overdraft. Uh, I withdrawn I withdrawn that cash from bank exceed that actually what I have in that my current account. Okay, so that is a bank overdraft. Also under category current liability, account payable. For example, my example before this is opposed neighborhood. So this is example of account payable that I have to pay back the debts within one accounting period, maybe 1 month, 2 month, uh, apa ni, according to the term and condition of that supplier or accounts payable. Okay. Before we proceed to the next lesson, let's answer the following question. Liabilities are obligation or debts owed by a business to other businesses or individuals apart from the owner. This is the definition of liability. Correct or incorrect? Liability are obligation or debts owed by business to other businesses or individuals apart from owner. Is it correct? Okay, let's submit. Okay, good. Correct. Okay, that's correct. Okay, next, which of the following is not current liability? Means non-current liabilities. Okay, long-term loan. Is it bank overdraft? How about accounts payable? Short-term loan. Okay, so non-current liability is for long-term or for relatively long accounting period. We have to pay back more than one accounting year. So long-term loan. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, the last part of the accounting equation is the owner equity. What is actually owner equity? Okay, once you have determined your assets and liability, you can calculate what actually you are worth. Okay, when we have determined our asset and our liability, now we can calculate what actually the business worth. Okay, by subtracting your liabilities from your asset, or asset minus liability. That is what is business worth or owner equity. So the differences between asset and liability is called now owner equity. The owner equity is known as insider claim. This is a claim held by owner of the business, and owner has a claim to the business asset because he or she has invested in the business. That's related the accounting concept, which is separate entity. So the owner equity known as insider claim. This claim held by the owner from the business. Okay, because owner has claimed the business asset because he or she has invested in the business. Okay, uh, so like the business actually owed from the owner itself. Okay, so because the separate entity, owner is a separate entity from the business. Okay, in proprietorship, the owner equity can be divided in proprietorship. The owner equity can be divided into four components, which is capital, drawings, revenue, and expenses. Okay, under owner equity, okay, this is under standard accounting equation actually. Before that, the basic accounting equation, we have asset equal to liability plus equity. Now, when it comes to the standard accounting equation, sorry, we have another another items under equity, which are capitals, drawings, revenue, and expenses. Okay, what is actually capital, drawings, revenue, and expenses? Let's click to the flashcard. Okay, how about the capital? Capital is the term used to describe the owner investment in the business. Investment by the owner can be in the form of cash or any other asset. Whenever the owner makes on the investment into the business, the total owner equity will be increased. Okay, so this is capital. So what is the capital? Whatever the owner bring in into the business. For example, cash, bank, or other assets lah. For example, motor vehicle maybe, computer, a laptop. Okay, so the capital will increase the owner equity, or owner equity will be increased by introduce capital from the owner. Okay, how about drawings? Okay, what is drawing? Owner may withdraw cash or other asset during the accounting period for personal use. Okay, for personal use. Okay, uh, according to the separate entity concept or business entity concept, that owner and the business are two separate entity. Okay, so owner tak boleh suka-suka nak ambil cash or bank or other asset of the business for personal use. Boleh ambil, they can withdraw the cash, can take any asset, but we have to record as a withdrawals or drawing. Okay, because of the personal use. Okay, so the drawing, what happened to the drawings or withdrawal to the owner equity? Drawing will decrease the owner equity value. Capital will increase, drawing will decrease the owner equity. Okay, how about the revenue? Revenue or income are the gross increase in the owner equity resulting from business activity entered into business purpose. Okay, for example, the revenue, we have a sales, commission received, interest income, rental income, and discount received. Okay, so what is the effect for the accounting equity? For the owner equity, revenue will be increased the owner equity. Okay, revenue will increase the owner equity. Okay, so how about the expenses? Expenses are cost of the asset consumed the service used in the process of earning revenue. Whatever we paid, okay, that's what we call expenses. But the paid amount is actually for processing of earning revenue. For example, what is the example of the expenses? Rent. Okay, why we have to rent a buildings, rent a premises? Because we want to make a showroom, or we want to sell our products. That's for the gaining the revenue. That's we call expenses. Okay, apa saja yang kita belanjakan dengan tujuan untuk mendapatkan hasil, mendapatkan jualan. Okay, that's we call expenses. Okay, another example of expenses, we have utility expenses, salary, interest expenses, rent expenses, and advertisement. Okay, so what happened? For what effect for these expenses to the equity, expenses will decrease the equity. Expenses will decrease the equity. Okay. So we have four item here. Two item will two component will increase the equity. What is the component will increase the equity is capital and revenue. Okay, capital and revenue will increase the owner equity. Okay, how about the drawings and expenses? Drawing as and expenses will decrease the owner equity. All right. Okay, before we proceed to the next lesson, let's answer the question. Owner equity of a business entity will increase when goods are taken. Owner for his personal use is drawing will decrease. Not the correct answer. Revenue arise, maybe. Expenses arise, no, because expenses will reduce the equity. So the best answer is revenue arise. Submit. Alright. Okay, over the last part, relationship between the accounting equation and the layout of balance sheet. What is the relationship? Okay, this is the example of layout of the balance sheet in the picture, and in the okay beside the picture we have the accounting equation. Okay, so when you zoom to the picture, okay, the total asset is 2.16 million. Okay, and the total of equity and liability is 2.16 million also. Okay, this is the total asset. Okay, for the balance sheet, and same goes to the accounting equation. Total asset must be equal to liability plus equity. Liability 460,000. Okay, and equity is 1.7 million. Okay. That is the relationship between the balance sheet layout and accounting equation. So actually, balance sheet, okay, now we call is a statement of financial position, and previously known as balance sheet. Okay, soft P or soft P. Okay, relation of soft P and the accounting equation, actually balance sheet is explaining in details what is accounting equation of the business. Okay. Statement of financial position is actually explaining the accounting equation in details. Okay. So the accounting equation is the building block of the statement of financial position. For now, it's suffice to note that accounting equation explain why the statement of financial position should be balanced. Okay, statement for the of financial position should be balanced. Total asset must be balanced, must be tally to the account liability plus equity. It states there are two aspects of counting, one represented by asset of the business and the other represented by liabilities and owner equity. Okay. It is therefore the underlying basis for double entry bookkeeping. Okay. We will study in detail the item presented in the statement of financial position in the latter topic. Okay. In the financial statement topic later. Okay, let's try the following question. On 1st March, okay, so this is a calculation part. Okay, Aish decided to start a sole proprietorship business with the following item. Okay, they have building 400,000, motor vehicle 160,000, features and fitting 120,000, loan. Okay, that's the asset. 400,000 aside building, motor vehicle, features and fitting. Okay. So total 450, 560, 680,000 total asset. Okay. How about the total bank? Total bank 100,000, cash in bank 130,000. Okay. What amount the capital I should contribute into the business? They want you to calculate the owner equity. So how we calculate? Total of asset minus total liability. So we only have a liability 100,000. Okay. For asset include cash at bank 30,000. Okay. 710 equal also 710 the total asset minus 100,000, so we get 610,000. Is that Correct? Okay, good. Okay, this is the working of that answer. Asset building 400,000, motor vehicle 160,000, fixture and fitting to 120,000 plus cash at bank. All is asset minus liability only 100,000. So that equal to uh, equity. So equity we have 100. Equity we have 610,000. Right? Okay. So next is activity. Okay, that's one. I need you to uh, do this activity. How to do this activity? Okay, I will give the link. Okay, a link is already given in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so you have to do this activity. How to do this activity? For example, the revenue. Revenue is falls under what category? For example, revenue. Okay, revenue is under on equity. Correct or not? Okay, correct. Account receivable is under what? Category. Asset, liability or iniquity. So account receivable, current assets. Okay. Asset. Okay. So continue to do this activity. Okay. The last part of this of this accounting equation, we have a quizzes. We have a 6 question that you have to answer. So please do this activity and also answer the quiz. Okay. So that's all. Okay, I repeat, I conclude what we have learned for this topic. Accounting equation is actually asset. The basic accounting equation is actually assets equal to liability plus equity. Okay, asset is categorized into two category. We have non-current asset and current asset. Same goes to liability. We also have non-current liabilities and current liabilities. Okay, so asset equal to liability plus only equity. Okay, that's conclusion for this class. Okay, class. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.